She can talk to us a little bit now about the reaction there to the win of the Nobel Peace Prize by their Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed. Annette, hello to you. First of all, I imagine lots of good news, lots of smiling faces where you are. What reaction have you seen to the announcement?
Well, Nadia, as you can imagine, the news has just started to filter through, but this is a country which is very much proud of its heritage, and certainly there's a lot of support here in the capital, Addis Ababa, for this dynamic young new Prime Minister who's come in with a massive political reform agenda. As you can appreciate, it's just over a half an hour since we've got the news, so it's just starting to filter through, and we'll certainly be getting more reaction, as you know, in the course of the afternoon. But from talking to people and interviewing people in the last 5 or 6 days, including the country's president, I think one thing is for sure is that there will be a feeling of joy, certainly among many people here in Ethiopia. This is a country which has gone through some horrific times. For many Westerners, when we think of Ethiopia, we think of that famine back in the 1980s, which led to that, of course, famous Live Aid concert. It is a country which is in the process of rebuilding itself after years of an authoritarian dictatorship, effectively. And it's very much a young and fledgling democracy. And no doubt the fact that their Prime Minister has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize will be a major boost.
Yeah. And Annette, just remind us why it was that Abiy Ahmed was given this award today. It was primarily the nomination committee said for his role negotiating that agreement with Eritrea, but also for some of the work that he's done locally inside Ethiopia. And I know that's something you've been covering in the past couple of days.
Absolutely. And as I said, this is a man with a very big reform agenda. And of course, he's winning the award for the fact that he signed a peace deal with Eritrea, and as a result, you know, two long-lasting foes have now become effectively friends. He's released journalists, he's invited back opposition groups, he's acknowledged that prisoners in the past have suffered from torture and abuse, but also, and this is very important, he has increased the role of women in power. And this country now has its first ever female president, Sahle Work Zewde. In addition, last year he appointed 50% of his cabinet positions to women. This is extraordinary. The head of the Supreme Court, who was a long-time dissident, was invited back to the country and appointed, as I said, head of the court. That itself is a major achievement. There is no doubt that gender equality is one of the priorities with this government. But having said that, there is a degree of concern also, Nadia, in terms of the fact that this is a country which has gone through a lot. There's still a degree of instability. It's in a lot of ethnic tensions, particularly with the minority Tigray community. In the last year alone, somewhere in the order of 1.2 million people have been displaced. More than 1,200 people have been killed in ethnic clashes. You have to remember this is a very large country with many tribes, and certainly ethnic rivalries remain a major issue.
All right, Annette Young on the phone for us there from the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. Thank you very much for bringing us the reaction.